Why good manuscripts still get rejected. Good manuscripts are rejected every day, sometimes excellent ones. This is one of the hardest truths in publishing and one of the least understood. Authors spend years writing a book. They revise, they polish, they finally send it out into the world, and then they receive a rejection that says nothing useful, a form letter, a polite silence. What they often do not realize is that the rejection may have had nothing to do with the quality of their writing. Publishing is a business, and like all businesses, it operates according to constraints that have nothing to do with art. The first constraint is positioning. A publisher or agent is always asking the same question: where does this book live in the market? Not just what it is, but who will buy it, where it will be shelved, how it will be described in a catalogue. If the answer is unclear, or if the answer is, it's like nothing else, that is not necessarily a compliment in a publishing meeting. Novelty is a risk, and risk is expensive. The second constraint is economics. Traditional publishing advances money against future royalties. That means every acquisition is a bet. A manuscript may be beautifully written, but if the acquiring editor cannot make a credible financial case for it, if comparable titles have not sold well recently, if the market feels uncertain, the math may simply not work. The book gets passed over, not because it is bad, because the numbers are hard to defend, and the economics are more concrete than most authors realize. Producing a book professionally, editing, design, typesetting, printing, distribution setup, represents a real financial investment. A conservative estimate for a professionally produced title starts at $30,000, and that number climbs depending on the genre, the page count, the print run, and the cost of paper on the commodity market at the time of production. A publisher weighing that investment against uncertain sales is not being heartless. They are being responsible stewards of a serious financial risk. This is also why the idea of pursuing traditional publishing purely to avoid paying anything is, frankly, a short-sighted strategy. Traditional publishers are not a free service, they are investors, and like all investors, they choose their bets carefully. Authors who approach publishing as a vehicle for getting something for nothing are misunderstanding the fundamental nature of the transaction. The third constraint is timing. Publishing moves in cycles. Certain subjects feel exhausted. Certain formats are oversaturated. A book that would have sold brilliantly 3 years ago may arrive too late. Or too early. The manuscript has not changed, the market has. The fourth is audience fit. An agent or publisher has relationships with editors, with buyers, with specific categories. Even if they love a manuscript personally, if they cannot place it within their existing networks, they will pass. This is not cynicism, it is specialization. And the fifth, and perhaps the most underestimated, is professional character. A platform helps, a social following helps, a track record helps, but what agents and publishers are truly evaluating, beneath all of that, is the person they will be in a working relationship with for the next 2 years or more, because publishing a book is not a transaction, it is a collaboration. And collaborations require people who can function professionally under pressure. Publishers and agents make hundreds of decisions about a book that authors are not part of. Cover design, interior formatting, distribution strategy, retail positioning, promotional timing. 90% of those conversations happen without the author in the room. This is not an oversight, it is by design. Publishing professionals have expertise the author does not have, and they cannot, and should not, pause every decision to seek approval. Authors who struggle with this reality create serious problems, not because their passion is wrong, but because the behavior that follows can be genuinely damaging. Multiple emails sent to multiple staff members, jamming communication systems, daily calls seeking updates that do not yet exist, complaints about decisions that were made correctly, threats, demands, and the circulation of misinformation. The author who reads something online and arrives convinced that their ranking of 86 on a retail list means they should have sold 10,000 copies. That is not how it works. That kind of data is drawn from a narrow slice of well-known titles and does not translate to the broader market. Check your sources and then trust the people you hired. These behaviors are not minor inconveniences. They are contract-ending events. Publishers release authors. Rights revert. working relationships dissolve. Not because the manuscript was bad, but because the professional relationship became untenable. Small and mid-size independent publishers have been particularly affected by this in recent years. Publishers who extended good faith access to their staff, only to find that access used as a channel for anxiety, pressure, and demand. The result has been a quiet but significant tightening of author-publisher boundaries across the independent publishing world. Publishing is a manufacturing industry. It requires skilled professionals working complex systems under real financial pressure. It is not, and has never been, a babysitting service. The authors who are sought after, the ones agents call, the ones publishers pursue, are the ones who understand this, who bring their manuscript and their professionalism to the table, and who trust the process they have chosen to enter. None of this means rejection is not painful. It is, but understanding why it happens, understanding that it is often structural rather than personal, changes the way an author can respond to it. The writers who endure in this industry are not always the most gifted. They are often the most informed. They understand the landscape they are navigating. They do not mistake systemic friction for personal failure, and they do not confuse passion for their work with license to make other people's professional lives difficult. Understanding the full picture, the economics, the timelines, the professional dynamics, is not a reason to feel discouraged. It is a reason to feel prepared. That understanding is something we will keep building in this channel. Subscribe to Field Notes from The Publisher's Ghost and visit us at www.thepublishersghost.com, where manuscripts meet market realities.